Most drivers think that new cars only fail because of manufacturing flaws. But here's the truth. That's only true about 12% of the time. The other 88%? That's all on you, the driver. In this video, we're breaking down 17 bad habits that can completely destroy your car before it even hits 50,000 miles. Some of these mistakes might cost a few $100, while others can wreck your engine, transmission, and even your credit score. At the end of the video, I'll reveal one mistake that ruined a car in under 3,000 miles, a problem most drivers never see coming. So let's kick it off with habit number 17, the number one reason engines lose years of life faster than you think. Number 17. Warming your car the wrong way. You've probably heard the saying that most engine wear happens during startup, around 75% of total wear. But the real issue isn't turning the key, it's what you do next. Many people make two costly mistakes: idling too long and revving too early. When you idle for minutes on end, unburned fuel sticks to the cylinder walls, fouling your spark plugs and contaminating your oil. That buildup can cause corrosion that eats your engine from the inside in just a few years. Revving too soon is even worse. It takes 10 to 30 seconds for oil to reach critical components like the camshaft and piston rings. If you hit the gas before that, metal grinds on metal, and you could be looking at a $5,000 bearing repair. The right way? Let your car idle for about 30 to 60 seconds, then drive gently for the first few minutes until everything's properly warmed up. Number 16. Taking too many short trips. If most of your daily drives are under 10 miles, you're slowly killing your engine without realizing it. Short trips prevent your car from reaching its optimal operating temperature, and that comes with 3 serious consequences. First, every time you start a cold engine, water vapor builds up inside. Normally, it burns off once the engine reaches around 212 degrees Fahrenheit, but short drives never get that hot. The leftover moisture mixes with oil, forming sludge and rusting your exhaust system from within. Second, a cold engine burns fuel inefficiently. Unburned fuel seeps past the piston rings, thinning the oil and stripping away its protective qualities. Finally, your catalytic converter suffers. It needs temperatures above 750 degrees Fahrenheit to clean emissions properly. If it never gets that hot, carbon builds up and clogs it, a repair that can cost $2,000 or more. The solution? Combine short errands into one longer trip, and once a week, take your car on the highway for at least 20 minutes at 60 miles per hour to let the system fully heat up. Number 15. Lugging the engine manual transmissions can make driving more engaging, but they also come with one of the easiest ways to damage an engine. Lugging happens when you're in a gear that's too high for your current speed, forcing the engine to work harder than it should. That deep rumbling or jerking sound? It's your car begging you to downshift. When you ignore it, the pressure inside the cylinders skyrockets, leading to knocking or pinging, especially in turbocharged engines. This uncontrolled combustion can bend connecting rods, crack pistons, and in extreme cases destroy the engine entirely, even on low-mileage cars. Worse yet, lugging reduces oil flow, meaning vital components like the crankshaft and bearings don't get proper lubrication, increasing metal-to-metal friction. If you're still learning manual driving, don't worry, it takes practice. But always shift before the RPMs drop too low. Otherwise, that grinding sound you hear could end up being a $4,000 lesson in engine failure. Number 14. Resting your hand on the gear shift. It might look cool or feel convenient to rest your hand on the gear lever while cruising, but this small habit can quietly destroy your transmission. Even a little pressure on the shifter pushes the selector fork against the rotating synchronizer collar inside the gearbox. These parts are designed for brief, gentle contact, not constant friction. Over time, that friction creates heat and wears down both components. The result? Hard, crunchy gear shifts, strange noises, and eventually a transmission that refuses to go into gear at all. And if the fork fails completely, your transmission could even slip into neutral while driving, turning a simple cruise into a dangerous situation. Replacing a damaged fork or synchronizer can easily cost $2,000 or more, and ignoring it only makes things worse. If you notice stiffness or grinding while changing gears, get it checked immediately before it snowballs into a full-blown transmission rebuild. Number 13. Leaving your car in park without the handbrake. A lot of drivers think putting the car in park is enough to keep it still, but that's a costly misconception. When you shift into park, the entire weight of your vehicle rests on a small metal piece called the parking powel. It's strong, but not designed to fight gravity on its own, especially on inclines. If you park on a hill without engaging the handbrake, that tiny component bears thousands of pounds of pressure. Over time, it can crack or snap completely, causing your car to roll away by itself. Even if you're lucky enough to avoid an accident, the damage can easily cost several $1,000s to fix. The proper way to park is simple. Before releasing the brake pedal, shift into neutral, engage the handbrake, and only then move the lever into park. This transfers the car's weight to the rear brakes, not the powel, protecting both your car and anyone nearby. Number 12. Overusing launch control. Launch control might feel like the ultimate flex. That perfect, tire-screeching start straight out of a racetrack. But here's what most drivers don't realize. It was built for occasional use, not daily traffic lights. Every time you engage it, your clutch, transmission, drive shaft, and axles experience extreme stress. Manufacturers know this, which is why many cars limit how often you can use launch control before disabling it entirely. For instance, the BMW ZF8 gearbox caps it at around 50 launches, while some high-end supercars might allow up to 200. After that, you're on your own, and your warranty might be void. Some brands even track launch control activations through the ECU. Using it too often can trigger limp mode or outright gearbox failure in under 20,000 miles. So if you love performance, use it sparingly. Check your car's manual to understand its limits, because that 5-second thrill isn't worth a $10,000 repair bill. Number 11. Using low-quality fuel. Not all gasoline is created equal. Many drivers assume that as long as they're filling up regularly, fuel quality doesn't matter. But that mistake can shorten your engine's life drastically. After just 30,000 miles, carbon deposits start building up inside the intake valves, pistons, and fuel injectors, choking performance and increasing fuel consumption. That's why experts recommend using top-tier certified fuel, which contains stronger detergent additives to break down carbon buildup. A study by AAA found that non-top-tier gas creates 19 times more engine deposits than premium top-tier brands. Over time, that means higher emissions, lower efficiency, and a sluggish throttle response. Regular decarbonization can cost around $1,000, but spending a few extra cents per gallon on high-quality fuel keeps your engine cleaner for years. Cheap gas might save you a few dollars today, but in the long run, it burns a hole straight through your wallet and your engine. Number 10. Constantly driving with low fuel. We've all done it. Waiting for the miles to empty light before finally stopping for gas. But consistently driving on fumes is one of the fastest ways to kill your fuel pump. That pump relies on gasoline to stay cool and lubricated. When the tank is nearly empty, it starts to overheat, reducing its lifespan dramatically. Most pumps are designed to last over 100,000 miles, but running low all the time can cut that in half. And when it fails, you're not just stranded, you're facing a $1,000 replacement bill. Plus, constantly sucking in the last bit of fuel can pull debris from the bottom of the tank into your system, clogging injectors and filters. To avoid that, keep your tank at least a quarter full at all times. Not only does it protect your pump, but it also prevents condensation from forming inside the tank. It's a small habit that can save you a lot of headaches and cash down the road. Number 9. Using the wrong oil viscosity. Your engine oil isn't just there to lubricate. It's precisely engineered to match your engine's design. Using the wrong viscosity, like 10W40 instead of 0W20, can cause major damage even if you think it's close enough. Modern engines have extremely tight tolerances, so thicker oil takes longer to circulate, starving components of lubrication during cold starts. That delay creates friction and heat, which can lead to warped cylinder heads, cracked engine blocks, or even full transmission damage. Valvoline warns that using oil that's too thick can damage an engine in as little as 15,000 miles. On the flip side, using oil that's too thin reduces protection and accelerates wear on critical parts like camshafts and bearings. Always use the viscosity rating printed on your oil cap or owner's manual, and if you've used the wrong oil before, perform a full purge immediately. It's a simple fix that could save you thousands in repair costs and years of engine life. Number 8. Using cheap aftermarket additives. Fuel additives promise cleaner engines, better mileage, and magic performance gains. But most of them are nothing more than expensive snake oil. In the US alone, over 500 million liters of fuel additives are sold each year, yet none are fully approved by any regulatory authority. Some even claim to restore damaged engine components, which is flat out impossible. Here's the truth. Your car already has additives built into its fuel and engine oil, especially if you're using top-tier gas. It contains PEA detergents proven to remove carbon buildup far better than most bottled products. Using the wrong additive, however, can mess with fuel-air ratios, damage sensors, or even clog your injectors within minutes. That's why most mechanics avoid cheap brands. Stick with products that are lab-tested and recommended by your manufacturer. Want to know which ones actually work? Check out our other video, 13 engine additives that work and 5 that'll kill your car. Number 7. Driving aggressively. It's easy to treat your car like a race machine. Quick launches, hard braking, and tight cornering feel thrilling. But this habit doesn't just waste fuel, it shreds your car from the inside out. The US Department of Energy found that aggressive driving can cut fuel efficiency by up to 30% on highways and 40% in city traffic. That's money literally burning away every time you slam the pedal. But fuel loss isn't the real danger. It's the stress on your vehicle. Rapid acceleration and sudden stops create extreme heat in your brake rotors and pads, warping them long before their normal lifespan. The extra strain on the transmission and engine mounts can also cause early failure, sometimes in as little as 30,000 miles. Even your tires suffer, losing grip and wearing unevenly. Remember, over 35% of accidents related to poor maintenance come from tire issues. So take it easy on the gas and brake. Your car, your wallet, and your safety all depend on it. Number 6. Using cheap jumper cables. Jump-starting a car seems simple, but one wrong move or a low-quality cable can cost you thousands. Modern vehicles are packed with sensitive electronics and 30 to 100 ECUs, electronic control units. A cheap set of jumper cables with poor insulation or thin wiring can easily short these systems, melting wires or frying vital components like your airbag module or engine computer. In the worst cases, the resulting surge can even spark a fire or leave the car completely dead. I've seen repair bills from botched jump starts exceed $5,000, especially on newer cars loaded with electronics. The fix? Always invest in a heavy-duty copper jumper cable rated for at least 800 amps. Reliable brands like Cartman or Energizer cost under $30 and can last for years. And if you're not sure about polarity, double-check before connecting. Reversing the clamps for even a second can fry your system instantly, a mistake that's far more expensive than a new battery. Number 5. Overloading your car. Your vehicle isn't a moving storage unit, and treating it like one can quietly destroy its suspension and braking system. Every car has a gross vehicle weight rating (GVWR) listed on the driver's door jamb. Exceeding that limit even slightly puts massive strain on the shocks, struts, brakes, and tires. Overloading forces your suspension to compress beyond its design, causing premature wear on springs and dampers. It also increases stopping distance and makes your steering less responsive. If this becomes a habit, you could face complete suspension failure, costing well over $2,000 to replace. And if you're hauling heavy cargo regularly, your brakes overheat faster, a major safety risk on steep roads. Even worse, overloaded cars are harder to control in emergencies and more prone to tire blowouts. So before piling in that extra luggage or equipment, check your owner's manual and stay below the weight limit. Your suspension and your insurance will thank you later. Number 4. Using the wrong tire pressure. Incorrect tire pressure is one of the most overlooked yet dangerous habits drivers have. The NHTSA reports that more than 11,000 crashes every year are caused by tire-related issues, and most of those stem from underinflation or overinflation. When your tires aren't inflated to the correct PSI, you risk blowouts, longer braking distances, and poor handling, especially in wet conditions. Many drivers make the mistake of using the PSI number printed on the tire's sidewall. That's not the right one. It shows the maximum pressure the tire can handle, not the recommended pressure for your car. The correct number is usually listed on the driver's door jamb or in the owner's manual. Driving with low tire pressure by even 25% makes you 3 times more likely to crash and can cut fuel economy by up to 5%. Check your tire pressure monthly and before long trips. Proper inflation doesn't just save fuel. It saves lives and extends your tire and suspension lifespan. Number 3. Riding the clutch. If you drive a manual, there's a good chance you've been guilty of this, resting your foot lightly on the clutch pedal while driving. It may feel harmless, but it's one of the fastest ways to wear out your clutch system. Even slight pressure causes the release bearing to rub against the pressure plate, creating constant friction and heat. Over time, both components degrade, leading to clutch slippage and poor gear engagement. Once the damage sets in, you'll notice a burning smell, grinding noises, and a higher bite point on the pedal. Ignoring those signs can result in throw-out bearing failure or a full clutch replacement, an expense that can reach $2,500 easily. Clutch riding is a habit that sneaks up on you, especially in traffic. The solution? Keep your foot completely off the pedal when you're not shifting, and use neutral at long stops. Breaking this habit early will save you thousands and give your clutch the long life it deserves. Number 2. Shifting from drive to reverse before a full stop. This is one of the most common and costly mistakes drivers make, especially when parking in a hurry. Switching from drive to reverse, or the other way around, before the car fully stops forces the transmission to act like the brake. The gears and internal components weren't built for that kind of shock, and each time you do it, you're hammering your gearbox, drive shaft, and axles with sudden stress. Automatic transmissions suffer the most since the clutches and planetary gears absorb the entire load. Over time, this leads to hard shifts, slipping gears, and eventually full transmission failure. And once that happens, you're staring at a $7,000 repair bill, or worse, a total write-off if the damage spreads to the differential. The fix couldn't be simpler. Always come to a complete stop before changing direction. That 2-second pause saves you thousands and keeps your transmission running smoothly for years. Number 1. Using cheap performance chips. Everyone loves a little extra horsepower, but cheap performance chips and sketchy ECU tunes are a shortcut to disaster. These bargain upgrades promise more power and torque, but often do it by dangerously altering ignition timing, turbo boost, and fuel delivery. When those adjustments aren't matched with proper hardware, you're setting your engine up for catastrophic failure. Performance tuning done wrong can blow pistons or crack cylinder walls in as little as 30,000 miles. Even worse, many of these chips void your warranty and can lead to insurance claim denials. There's a reason professional tuners spend hours calibrating safe maps. One wrong setting can turn a strong engine into a pile of metal. One driver in the UK tuned his Lotus Elise and blew the engine just 4,000 kilometers later, a repair that cost over $12,000. If you really want performance, always go to a certified tuner who understands your car's limits. Cheap chips are never worth the risk. So there you have it. 17 habits that can destroy your car before 50,000 miles. Break these habits today, and your car will reward you with years of reliable performance. Most damage doesn't happen overnight. It builds up quietly through neglect and bad habits. If you're planning to modify or upgrade your ride, make sure you're not wasting money on risky mods. Check out our next video, Car Mods You Should Never Buy and What to Get Instead. Thanks for watching, and remember, keep your car clean, tuned, and treated right. This is Car Vitalize, helping you keep your ride running strong.